The empire was at its height. Legions controlled lands from Britannia to Mesopotamia. Trade flowed through the Mediterranean like blood through arteries. And in the underworld of this cosmopolitan metropolis, an Eastern religion was growing in the shadows. Roman Christianity at the end of the 2nd century looked nothing like what we know today. There were no basilicas, no Vatican, no pope with tiara and staff. What existed were scattered communities, meeting in private homes, in catacombs, in workshop basements. Christians were a suspicious minority. Accused of cannibalism, they ate the body of their god. Incest, they called one another brother and sister while kissing. And atheism, they rejected the Roman gods. And yet the movement grew. Slaves, artisans, merchants, even a few patricians, all found something compelling in the message of a God who had died and risen again, exceptionally righteous. They claimed that Jesus was fully divine as the Father. In fact, they said, Jesus was the Father, the same God, the same person, manifesting himself differently. It was from this third group that Praxeas emerged. We know very little about Praxeas as an individual. None of his writings survive. We do not know his face. Everything we know comes from his fiercest enemy, Tertullian of Carthage. Praxeas taught that God was an absolute unity. There was no real distinction between Father and Son. When God wished to create the world, he manifested himself as Father. When he wished to redeem humanity, he manifested himself as Son. Different names for the same divine reality. It was simple. It was logical. And that is why it spread like wildfire. While Praxeas stirred Rome, another figure arose in Asia Minor, Noetus of Smyrna. Smyrna was one of the 7 churches mentioned in the Apocalypse of John, an ancient, venerable community that prided itself on its apostolic lineage. And it was there, in this port city on the coast of modern-day Turkey, that Noetus began preaching his version of absolute monotheism. Hippolytus of Rome, another fierce opponent, recorded the confrontation. When the presbyters of Smyrna summoned Noetus to answer for his teachings, he responded with a defiant question. "What evil have I done? I glorify one God. I know one God and none other besides him, who was born, suffered, and died." The response reveals the heart of the modalist motivation. It was not rebellion. It was not a desire to innovate. It was zeal, burning zeal for monotheism. Noetus genuinely believed that teaching distinct persons within the Godhead betrayed the faith of Israel. Movement its name, Sabellius. Information about his